Hi, my name's Leighanne Jordan and welcome back to my show. I'm super excited to introduce our third guest, Preston Winter. Preston, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Preston Winter. I'm a senior here at Bellarmine. I'm a business major, and I'm also on the lacrosse team here, and the bass fishing team, actually. So I kind of wear several different hats while I'm here. I try to keep myself busy and out of trouble. So.
Preston,
Yeah,
I didn't know you were on the bass fishing team. Is that new?
I fished a couple tournaments with them last year. This year it's looking like I'm having a couple. I got some free weekends on my plate here this week or this semester. So I'm signed up on the bass fishing team for the fall semester. But once the spring comes around and lacrosse really gets rolling, my availability gets a little bit slim. So the bass fishing is typically fall semester only.
Okay. Yeah. So do you want to talk about that a little bit? I'm not really familiar with it at all.
Sure. Well, I mean, I've grown up fishing and whatnot, and my best friend in high school, Steve Mormon, shout out. Steve and I fished all the time throughout high school, and our freshman year, when they sent us home, my parents were real strict on like what we were allowed to do because of the virus and whatnot. Steve and I would go fish every day, and so we got real good at fishing and talked about like fishing tournaments maybe, but that unfortunately never really happened. But my only avenue to fish a tournament, luckily, was here at school. So I signed up and get to call myself part of the bass fishing team.
Wow,
so
that's crazy. Because
yeah.
You're from Ohio, correct?
Yeah.
Do they have bass fishing?
No, so like down here in Louisville, like apparently it's like a pretty popular high school program. There's several teams around here, like St. X, Trinity. Yeah. They all have programs, but that's not really a thing in Ohio. There's no like high school teams.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
That's awesome. So you enjoy it. That's really cool.
I love it.
So you did say have you fished in a tournament yet?
Yeah, last year I fished a couple with the guys.
Did you catch anything?
Did
you catch any bass?
I mean, nothing too much to write home about, but it was a good day on the water. It was fun being with all the guys and meeting new people and making friends.
So you're definitely making your most here at Bellarmine.
Trying to.
You're trying to?
Trying to.
And you play lacrosse?
Yeah.
What position do you play?
I'm a defensive midfielder on the lacrosse team.
So is that how you ended up in Louisville, lacrosse, or?
Yeah, it was a mixture of my ambitions for my education and lacrosse at the time. Not that I'm not any less interested. That sounded a little bit odd, but in high school I was real ambitious. I wanted to play a Division I lacrosse. I was pretty set on going to business school and staying pretty close to home as well. And Bellarmine here fit all those criteria perfectly. They have as I'm sure you're aware, renowned business program. Within 2.5 hours from my home, which is as good as it's going to get, and Division I lacrosse. So
that's awesome.
It really
perfect.
fell into my lap.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you in the MBA program?
Yeah.
You are in the MBA program?
Yeah, I'm taking some master's classes right now. I'm a senior at the moment, but I'll be coming back next year for my actual 5th year.
So are you interested in starting a business, or what do you intend to do with your business major?
I actually have a business right now.
You do?
I have my own stump grinding business, so like tree removal. If somebody has like a tree stump in their yard, I have the equipment necessary to remove tree stumps. So I kind of made that a business when I was a junior in high school. I got that ball rolling. How
did you start that business?
So my dad, my dad picked one up when I was much younger, but when I got old enough and a little bit wiser maybe, my dad trusted me a little bit more and allowed me to use his equipment, his stump grinder and everything that he has, and I went out and it really turned out to be a little bit more successful than I ever imagined it to be.
That's so interesting.
While I'm down here in Louisville, while I'm at school, and my time and commitment is towards this stuff here. I can't really. It's always been more of a summer thing. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So back home, what part of Ohio?
I live in Hamilton, Ohio.
Hamilton, that's pretty small?
A little bit, north of Cincinnati.
Okay, so that's where you're doing this business.
Yeah, just around the tri-state area.
Do you think that maybe it'll grow? Or do you intend to grow it, or is this kind of just a side hustle?
It's been great for the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not providing for a family or
right.
paying a mortgage or anything like that. So it's been excellent for expenses. Just that I have I have currently, and it has been successful. In my book, anyway, it's been successful. I'm not making millions or anything like that.
Right.
It's been fun to watch it grow and to see the sweat of my own brow kind of be successful is always rewarding.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You also, I heard you work on cars.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you're very hands-on.
Yeah, I'm a pretty hands-on guy. There was the house that I'm living in now. A guy who used to live in it drove his car up here and it died on him, and he just left it. He just left it, and I lived in the house 2 years, and at the end of last year, the car was looking at me long enough.
Oh, okay.
So I called the guy's owner, or I called the actual owner of the car, and long story short, I ended up getting the car. And
a new project for you.
Yeah, threw it on a trailer, brought it home, got it running, and I actually have it down here now. So
how did you learn all these technical skills?
So I grew up working on a farm. And so, all we don't have state-of-the-art equipment by any front. So you kind of got to work with what you got, and a lot of what that entails for us, especially, is fixing old equipment and stuff like that. And being
taught yourself that?
Yeah, learning from my dad, uncles, grandpa. That has taught me lessons and given me knowledge that'll stick with me for the rest of my life. So I'm really thankful for that.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, that kind of led on over to what I was able to do with this car. So it's been fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to continue to work on other cars, continue your business, or these are just kind of your side things? Sure, yeah. Are they your passions, or you just know how to do them?
I know how to do them. I would call them more of a hobby rather than a passion. Some of my buddies back home, they like to turn their trucks up real good. So is it my scene? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But I can definitely work on them. It's not like I'm going to invest all my money and free time into it. But it's been a fun project. It kind of fell into my lap. That was the whole reason why I took that project on.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Cool. Do you what are your plans? I know you're a senior, and I know that's a big question, but do you have any idea of what you want to do?
Yeah, I do.
Actually. That's awesome. A lot of people don't.
I've been, fortunately and luckily, I've been pretty, and all thanks to my parents and people who try and push me in the right direction. I've been pretty proactive on getting internships.
Yeah.
I just finished up the summer with Kubota Tractor.
Okay.
I was a sales intern at their northern corporate office in Columbus, Ohio.
Using that business degree.
Yeah, trying.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. But the summer previous to that one, so the summer in between my sophomore and junior year, back home in Fairfield, Ohio, I was an apprentice log buyer and timber buyer for bulky veneer. And veneer is like a real thin slice of wood, and they use that, just for an example, they use that to make the wood trim that you would see in a car.
Okay, yeah.
And so bulky veneer is a really well put provider for various automakers, like interior design manufacturers, and they are a very successful business doing that. So as far as after school is concerned, I think I'm going to try and get on with bulky veneer and be a log and timber buyer. So
that's great. Yeah. Do you think you're going to stay in Ohio?
Yeah, most definitely. That was with a lot of what I'm trying to do long term. My family is pretty big, and everybody that I know and love is in Ohio. So I don't really see too much of a motivation to leave or get out. I'm thankful for where I'm at.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you want to do some fun questions now?
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure. Bring them on.
Okay. So you live with 4 other roommates? 4 other roommates?
4 other roommates.
4 other roommates.
Yeah.
How do you think that they would describe you as a roommate?
Oh, jeez. Let me think about this. Hold on. I guess one thing that
Are you a good roommate?
I try to be a good roommate. I mean, the guys that I live with are like some of my closest friends that I've ever, been fortunate enough to have.
That's great.
How they would describe me, I feel like I always throw my 2 cents into whatever's going on. If that's a good thing, I mean, maybe that's up for you to decide. But I always try to be a good friend. I always try to be there to like listen to what they got going. If there's like a problem going on, I'm always trying to like listen. My dad always told me like, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You ought to listen twice as much as you speak. So I try to be a good friend for my roommates, and I try to be, in the slightest, I hope my roommates would describe me as caring and in coordination to what a good friend would be. But yeah, I try to, do my part.
Yeah.
We don't have like a list of chores or anything for all the guys, but
yeah.
I clean up and keep my quarters clean. So
there you go. That's awesome.
Try.
What did you want to be when you were a little kid, like career-wise?
Sure. So my dad, growing up, for as long as I've been alive, my dad's been in sales.
Okay.
And I feel like, that your typical like growing up story, like what boy doesn't want to be just like dad when they grow up? So I seen dad in sales all my life, and I figured, well, I'm just gonna follow suit and be just like dad one day, and I'll be a sales guy for whoever, whether it be farm equipment or what have you. Typically, big equipment is what we like to deal with, or what my dad's always dealt with. But yeah, seeing dad in sales ever since I was a little boy, my dad's my hero, and I've always wanted to be just like dad. So I think in some shape or form, I'm going to get into sales.
Yeah, that's great. You seem very family oriented.
Yeah.
You are?
No doubt.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
I got one younger brother. I got Reed. He's my younger brother.
Is he your best friend, or how would you describe your relationship?
If we're not best friends, I don't know what we would be. Reed and I, two very different people, my brother and I, but I can't even put into words how much
that's awesome.
I love my brother. Like he looks up to me. I am very aware of the fact that he looks up to me, so I try my hardest to always be there for him.
Yeah.
And kind of show him, lead by example, sort of.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
But yeah, I got one younger brother, Reed.
That's awesome. My last question, because we're running out of time.
That's all right.
What's your dream pet?
Oh, I want no pets.
You want no pets?
Maybe down the road.
No pets.
Maybe I would get a dog.
Why? You are surrounded by farm animals and wilderness.
We raise corn and soybeans. So we don't have any animals running around.
You don't have any animals?
No animals.
Okay.
But I don't know.
They're not your thing.
Not that they're not my thing, but I don't know if I would want a dog down the road, or if I did want a pet, it'd probably be a dog. But at the moment, I can't hardly keep myself clean half the time.
Fair enough.
I probably wouldn't want to provide or take care of a dog. So
Awesome.
At the moment, at least.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being
Absolutely.
here.
Thank
I'd love
you.
to have you back.
Thank you.
You've been a great guest. So.
Thank you.
This has been Leighanne Jordan with Knights Media Network. Thanks for tuning into my show. I can't wait to see you next week.